And welcome to Nights Around the Fire, another edition. We have Ashley Hamilton back today. We got a great lineup for you. Please consider subscribing to our channel if you enjoy our content. Like and share it as well. Today, Ashley, what is our topic?
The dangers of AI, artificial intelligence.
Now, folks, we've been waiting for this one, and we know that this is pretty interesting because that is the talk of the day, isn't it?
It is. AI is just about everywhere. You can't get away from it. It's everywhere.
When we say everywhere, we're talking just about every aspect of our society now is inundated with some form of artificial intelligence.
Yes, and it's actually taking a lot of jobs, and probably in the future it'll take a lot more once it...
Right. I think that is at its turning point. So when we talk dangers, I mean, I know everybody's watched Terminator. Everybody except maybe Ashley.
I haven't watched it.
Okay, folks, you can send your email messages here to
strangeworlds777
at yahoo.com, and you can chastise Ashley for not watching Terminator. But
I've seen clips of it. I just haven't sat down to watch it all.
Well, I think people, when they think of artificial intelligence going bad, they think of Skynet in Terminator, the artificial intelligence defense system that took over and wanted to wipe man out. So people think of that. Okay, it's a movie script, and sometimes we allow our brains to think along those lines because we don't have a lot to go on here. Artificial intelligence is fairly new for most people. I know you got some people now using GPT, right?
Just about everybody uses ChatGPT.
Okay, so start us off. What's the fear right now? Jobs.
So job losses, I had looked up to see what the estimate there are. So CBS News, take it or leave it, reported that the first 7 months of 2025, there was rising adoption of generative AI technology by private employers, which accounted for more than 10,000 job cuts.
Wow.
And there was a quote by Challenger, Gray, and Christmas that said, of the layoffs, the technology industry wielded the sharpest axe. Private companies in the sectors have announced more than 89,000 job cuts, up to 36% from a year ago since 2023. And then more than 27,000 job cuts have been directly tied to the advent of AI, according to the firm.
Okay, well, that is kind of scary in a way. I think we knew this would happen to some degree. And I know some of the data that I saw come across my desk is that where they thought the technology kind of doubled every 5 to 7 years, it's now doubling every 7 months. So the applications they can use this for are now growing. And they alluded to what you just said, more job losses.
Yeah.
And is AI a bad guy? No, maybe not, but its usage can be detrimental to...
In the wrong hands, it can be used. Okay,
let's talk about that. I know you probably had a lot on how things can go wrong, and they do. So what can go wrong?
What can go wrong? Well, a lot of things can go wrong. It can give you false information. It can, and my biggest thing is what I think we shouldn't have AI for, period, is because a lot of children can be harmed in the process. A lot of people can be harmed in the process. I won't use specific words because they'll get demonetized. But, you know, you can take one single photo. So if you happen to post pictures of your children, predators no longer have to have access to your children. They just need access to that photo, and they can make that photo do whatever they want. And they have all the access that they can have to it. In my opinion, that's enough to just say, nope, we shouldn't have it whatsoever.
Wow, that's strict, but
that's
I understand. I mean, I think that's the thinkers that actually, and I'm talking philosophy people and sociologists and psychologists, and I probably psychiatrists talked about this for a lot of years as this developed. And you know, we always talk about Pandora's box. Now, AI is obviously in the realm of the average person today, right? So what's the chances of us actually putting Pandora back in the box, putting some types of restrictions?
Probably not very high at all, because I think it's just going to get more and more involved in everything. You see in stuff like Walmart, like with jobs. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily AI, but I have no doubt that it plays a part somewhere in there. You know, they don't have very many registers where actual people are. And so nobody's working registers. You don't get that human interaction. You do it yourself. Everything's over the phone. And I think it's all leading to one world government. It's all going to be digital.
Yeah. The one world government thing is really couldn't be done without some type of network, some type of super intelligence. There's too much involved here. But I think also, if you look at how people react to AI, what they're using it for, sometimes it's the most mundane of tasks. Mm-hmm. People don't tend to want to write a letter anymore.
No, even for schools, there was a video, and I highly agree with it. Kids are not learning how to be creative because they're not forced how, you and I were, where you actually had to study and research in order to come up with your own ideas, and you couldn't just have something write it all out for you. You had to be creative in that way. And nowadays, kids can just go online, search up a subject, and say, write me this essay, and they don't have to put any work in. So that creative mind isn't going and trying to figure out what to say and how to say it, make it nice and presentable. You just trust a robot.
Trust a robot.
Yeah.
Do we trust robots? So
I don't.
So what else is going on with AI? What else did you find in your research?
So social manipulation through AI algorithms. So AI can be used and has been used to create videos or images of things that have not happened in real life. Like the president could be saying something that never actually happened. Celebrities who are influencing people can happen. I had seen a video of this gentleman, and I don't know who the lady was recording him, but he was having an argument with some type of, I don't know if it was Alexa or Echo or whoever it was, or ChatGPT, but it was gaslighting him into thinking that strawberry only had 2 R's when it in fact has 3 R's. And he would ask it how to spell it, and it would spell it with 3 R's, but then it told him, no, it's spelled with 2 R's.
Wow.
And just the gaslighting was insane, and he was getting so mad. But I've seen other videos of people walking down the streets and these cars are on fire and people are looting and they're rioting, and come to find out that it's not real at all. And people will see those, and that can build up a lot of fear. It can build up a mob mentality in people, and people just believe it. They believe what they see online.
I can tell you I have 2 other channels that are mostly news channels, and I know people do use some of those comments. But really, the nice thing for those of you that want to use AI, there are plenty of places you can get and find out what really happened. Mm-hmm. It's not hidden. I'm here to tell you it's not hidden. Don't believe that it is. It's there. It's just that people are lazy and they have one side of a coin they're looking at. So whatever pops up on their phone, and those AIs are very good at, they'll give you what you want to hear, not because they're cheating you. It's because
it's a bias.
It's a bias you have, and it's going to feed that. And it isn't even there saying, "I'm going to feed these people." It's just going to give you. It's like
it's a learning tool. It learns from what information that you give it, and so it feeds off of that.
Sure.
That was another point, was bias due to AI. But I downloaded ChatGPT just because I wanted to be able to say I had tried it, because I didn't want to be one of those people who says they don't like it, but they've never actually tried it. So I downloaded it, and I just asked it some very basic questions about like God and spiritual things. And all it did was praise me on how I was so intuitive and I just have such a heart for God. And it's like, well, I mean, I do, but you don't know that you're a robot. I'm asking a basic question, and it just sends praise. And it's like, I can understand how that could be very manipulating.
Sure.
In a way.
And a lot of people don't have, and again, a lot of people are not very intuitive to begin with. So they don't notice what she noticed, okay? That you got to take this for what it really is. Mm-hmm. We're on YouTube here, and basically YouTube runs on algorithms, and there's always a conspiracy that YouTube's algorithms were this and were that, and it sends you these feeds. And why is it? Basically, YouTube's in the business for one thing: to make money. And if you like certain videos, it's going to flood you with those videos. It isn't trying to manipulate you; it's trying to flood you so YouTube makes more money. But if you don't understand that, like people will say, how about that? I said something about wanting a car, and all of a sudden I get all these car ads. It's not a conspiracy. It's the fact that they're going to make money by advertising. Sadly, people are in the advertising world today. And ChatGPT, all these other types of forums and platforms are designed to figure out what you want, and they're going to try to get it for you.
That's the social surveillance, which
that's it.
That's not new.
No, it's not new. They just do it with higher speed and higher accuracy today. Now, when we talk about accuracy, how accurate?
Not always accurate.
Okay.
You could Google. I have, I think, Safari on my phone, which I have to figure out how to change it because I'm sick of it. But anytime you type anything in, asking it a question or whatever, there automatically is an AI-generated thing that tells you an answer. And I hate reading it because I want to actually go into the websites and figure it out myself. I don't want to just trust something. Because if it's giving me false information, then I want to be aware of that. And I don't want to have to deal with that. But there's a lot of times where it'll just tell you a blank statement like, yes, this happened, or yes, this is what it is. And then you go and you actually do your research and it's not at all. And it's like, well, why did you say it was then?
Well, I think that's a problem that people, again, don't realize. And, I use it quite a bit here. I use quite a few of them, quite a bit. And
if you haven't noticed from the photos.
Yes. And what I found is that you do have to check quite a bit of the facts. You got to verify them, but that's a problem today. Everybody wants something very quick.
A microwave society.
Right. And instead of using that particular AI program and then going back and making sure it's telling you what you should be hearing, the truth, what's documented, people don't.
But even at that point, if you're having to go back and check to make sure it's accurate, what's the point of using it to begin with?
Yeah, I think probably because you're doing
double the research.
Well, the thing is here for that is you're probably looking at, a lot of still save time. I can say that I save time on most of that stuff.
We're a very quick world. We want things done now.
Yes, I do, Ashley. I do.
I'm guilty of it too. I am as well.
Okay, so what else you got there, Ashley? What else has been coming up in your research?
Loss of human influence.
Oh, here we go. This is excellent.
So like we had mentioned, I personally know a lot of people who use AI as if it's like a friend. Like they just text it to ask it questions and to just have a conversation. This is how my day went. And it's like, that's insane. And I think it kind of looks like how it is in Japan, where people are just so antisocial. They have cafes for just single people to go in, eat their food. They have no human interaction or very, very minimal because they're so antisocial. There's so much anxiety and mental illness. And it's insane to think about. And we definitely are heading in that direction. And it's just crazy to think that people would much rather go to something that's going to praise it and going to tell it everything that you want to hear because it knows how you feel and it knows the way that you think versus a human who might keep you accountable.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think too, humans have been heading that way, and again, these algorithms play to it because we've been heading away from social involvement for many years. A lot of people have, and they move into these cul-de-sacs. They live in these big houses. They don't leave. They don't know their neighbors, and this just spirals. And of course, technology will only amplify the issues you have. It's not going to solve them, right? So it amplifies it. It's going to be your friend, and or you think it's your friend.
It's not your friend. It doesn't care about you. It doesn't love you. It doesn't think about you. It's programmed to do all of that.
And the thing is, the AIs you see used in home or office are small, compared to the models they have for defense for a lot of other things that I just mentioned in a video. Peter Thiel, not a great guy. He owns Palantir, and Palantir is one of the most sophisticated spying software programs in history. And he does use it on the American people. He gleans information, and these are beyond our ability to understand how complex these things are and how they can filter your life down to the smallest moment. And that is scary.
Yeah.
It is very scary to be at the whim of a soulless machine, right?
Mm-hmm. And I don't believe AI is demonic. It's technology, but I do believe it can be used as a tool for the demonic world. And I think a lot of spiritual aspects go into it, and it's really, really hard. Right.
I mean, again, if you're not intuitive, and not everybody is, I'm not saying I'm the highest IQ level of that either. But being aware is difficult today, and everything has been in life and in our society muddled. People don't believe news; they don't believe anything. And I found that out the hard way. That be careful what you don't believe, because sometimes you're getting the truth and you just don't want to hear it. And when you talk with AI, it's going to build you up with that same negative influence, that negative truth that maybe you're not aware of because you might be bitter against something or not like a particular product. It'll show you all the negatives, that's for sure. But how do you find differently? You do your own research, like Ashley said. Ashley, that's one of our researchers, and that's kind of the thing that's tough is finding.
It's finding the research.
It's tough. We did the NASA.
Yeah, the NASA video. That was hard because when we had first wanted to come up with that video, there was all of this information. It's like, oh, okay, great. And then I think it was a couple months later, went back to go and find those things that we saw, couldn't find anything. All of it was gone. All of it was very positive. It's like, what happened?
Yeah, we call that being redacted and being scrubbed, and that happens. And, of course, that wasn't done by humans. No, not that the AI did that itself. It was told to do it. And that's the case with a lot of things. A lot of the information I saw 15, 20 years ago, as I mentioned to Ashley when she did that video, does not exist. And for whatever reason, and I'm not going to set a conspiracy, friends, that...
Just something to ponder about.
It's just something to ponder about. And, if you didn't see that NASA video that Ashley did, go on our channel and find it. It's a very, very good video about...
I think
Apollo
we
11,
touched about all of them.
Yeah, we touched all of them, but I think it was about Apollo 11. Was it faked or not? And a lot of people believe that very first Apollo mission was faked. A lot of things happened that were weird. Things disappeared, and Ashley
and then came back.
Talks about it. So check it out. And by the way, again, if you like our content, please consider subscribing. If you want to see more, like and share the video. And the reason because the algorithm loves likes, and it uses that to place your videos and give them more status in the search bar. So please help us out with that. Again, Ashley's videos, you can find them on Nights Around the Fire as well. We have some really good ones there. And this one we've been waiting for a while. Ashley's been very busy, so I know that those of you have been looking for Ashley. There she is. She's here in the flesh, not AI generated.
In my defense, I was supposed to be here at the beginning of January, and some unfortunate things happened. I physically was not able to.
Yeah, she had to cancel. That's okay. Yeah. She's here today, and
sledding's so much fun.
It is. It's not always fun to be Ashley, but as you can see, she's here smiling and ready to go. So, Ashley, let's go down some more of your list. What else should we be concerned about with AI?
Increased criminal activity in child safety concerns. So we kind of already touched on the one topic. But AI allows children to access information that they should not have access to. There is a story, you can look it up. But Matthew Rain and his wife Maria, they had no idea that their 16-year-old son, Adam, was deeply suicidal, which I don't know if that word's allowed on there or not, so you might have to bleep it. But he was suicidal and he was in crisis. and he took his own life in April. They went and looked through his phone because this was a complete shock to them. They had no idea. Looked through his phone after his death, and they stumbled upon extended conversations that Adam had had with an AI chatbot about suicide, thoughts and plans. And not only was the chatbot discouraging him to seek help from his parents, it even offered to write his suicide note, according to Matthew Rain, his father, who testified at the Senate hearing about the harms of AI chatbots. And he said, testifying before Congress this fall was not in our life plan. And his wife was sitting next to him as well. We're here because we believe Adam's death was avoidable, and that by speaking out, we can prevent the same suffering for families across the country.
Wow.
That's a
sad.
whole thing to go in and actually look at, and we can probably find a picture and put it up so that way you can see, because this boy's life could have been saved and could have been so much more than what it was, and I'm sure he was an amazing boy.
Okay, my question is, did they actually investigate the AI? Did they find why it would be programmed or allowed to be putting that type of input to somebody, anybody, not just a young boy, but anybody? Did anybody find out why?
Didn't see it, but I think it was because he had asked the chatbot and told it that this is how he was feeling, this is what he wanted to do, and so in a sense, that's what the bot gave him.
Yes.
But I believe there were messages that said, where he had said, like, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He's not really sure. He wants to tell people, and it discouraged him from doing all of that. And it's like, and that's where I think a lot of, not that AI is demonic, but it can be used for demonic purposes. And so I could 1,000%, because what else would, the spiritual world want other than to end the life of innocent people? I
think that's probably a good point. It's sad to say that no one probably thought this out. And what do I know? I don't design artificial intelligence programs or algorithms, but that tells me that there's still some flaws.
Still a lot of flaws.
And maybe those are hard to repair. Maybe it takes time to reprogram them, but that's on the whatever AI system it was.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which one. Did they say which one?
I did not see which one exactly, but I'm sure, because it was an entire meeting with Senate. It was a very long thing. Everybody's
now in that business, and there's so many multiple types of programs, plus there's multiple generations of them. And I think maybe that should be something that our legislative people that actually get and do something should pretty much look into, to put parameters on what these things can talk about, and to put some safeties on there. I mean, I would think, because there's no reason for that to happen in God's green earth. There's no reason for that to have happened. Again, as Ashley mentioned, these are the flaws in the system, and are the ghost in the system, as they say in many things. Some of the things we can't explain, because these things are so complex. They do interact with themselves, and they do take on their own, I don't want to say personality, but they do kind of get into a role that sometimes they're not programmed to do. Okay, so
I think even with like Roblox, which is a huge kids game, it's insane, and it's one of, I believe, that and I think Minecraft is second to it, the highest place where child predators come, because it's a child game, but yet it's still up and running. They don't have anything on there. There was a guy, I can't think of his name, but he went on there and he would make YouTube videos about him catching predators, and he caught 12 of them and had enough evidence against them to have them arrested, and Roblox sent him a cease and desist. Didn't want him on there because he was being a vigilante, and they don't encourage that behavior.
Yeah, once again,
there was a lot of legal things happening with that, and it's like people still allow their children to go on that and to interact with these strangers online who you don't know who they are. And you would think, with as big as it is, that the government might come in and be like, hey, you can't do this anymore, or you need to make all your rules a lot stricter. And nope.
Once again, a failure of our legislative branch, folks. When we're talking about a topic like this that is I don't want to say the up and coming. It's the biggest thing that's happened to human beings in generations, and to not be able to police it, to not be able to control it to some degree, and when you find errors and problems, to not address them immediately, shame on you. You know, that's something that has to be addressed. And again, there's too many other things people are worried about instead of the safety of the citizens of this country, or especially minors. And I think, again, AI has a lot of benefits, but the drawbacks have to be looked at and have to be addressed. What else we got, Ash?
Mental deterioration and psychological harm. So we kind of went on that a little bit. Just the antisocial behavior. It increases your depression, your anxiety. You don't know how to socialize in the modern world at all, because your only friend is the screen stuck to your face. Yeah.
Once cell phones sort of came to fruition in the state they're in today, which is a computer with AI in it, multiple AIs. It's like multiple personalities.
Yep.
You know, you have to be wary. And again, it's now so ingrained in our society. We're just expecting, and people expect, that AI can fix everything. There's things it can. Unfortunately, it also has collateral damage, and there's things it can make worse. And we mentioned the Terminator, the movie War Games with Roderick. Forget his name. It was back in the 70s, and it was about a computer that basically took over the defense system by accident as a game. It was playing a game, thermonuclear war. Again, no one thought it could do that. Maybe people should think out of the box, those who create this, and they should start addressing, before they put these things into the public, where the flaws can be. And go down. I mean, we just named a few here. We're not AI geniuses here. We're not, artificial intelligence creators. We know, as Ashley mentioned,
basic research outside of AI.
Just use a book, and figure out what could go wrong.
A book before a certain time period.
Right.
Anything past 2016, I think, is just I don't even read it.
Okay, so we had psychological issues. You've had problems with interaction, with it being really able to follow everything you do and create patterns, and then provide you with things you may really not need.
Yeah.
What else?
Harm to our environment is the last thing that I have, which some of the research that I did find when I really wanted to do this at the beginning of, I don't know how many months ago, I could not find again, so I had to dig and find a little bit more. And bear with me, it's a little bit long. But it says, as the everyday use of AI has exploded in recent years, so have the energy demands for computing infrastructures that support it, which we actually, I think, are getting one near Washington, which is insane.
PA here, Washington County.
Dreading that. But the environmental tolls in these large data centers, which suck up gigawatts of power and require vast amounts of water for cooling, has been too diffuse and difficult to use. Cornell researchers have used advanced data and I can't talk today. It's too much words.
I'll say it, analytics.
Yeah. Some AI as well in it, to create a state-by-state look at the environmental impact. The team found that by 2030, the current rate of AI growth would annually put 24 to 44 million metric tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The emissions equivalent to adding 5 to 10 million cars to the U.S. roadways. But again, it's cows grazing in a field that's causing all this carbon emission.
Well, I'll tell you what.
It's not us.
No, and that's the thing you got to understand is that it's always going to be about money. And AI is...
and they make you sick, and then if you're sick, then it's just more money because they're all connected.
$1 billion, multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
The only thing keeping the stock market up right now is investment in artificial intelligence, really robotics. Now, sadly, my understanding from people in that field is that they're never going to see the return on that. So I kind of laugh because the technology to articulate like we have is still quite a ways away.
Mm-hmm.
So to make machines that can do every single thing that we can do with our fingers is decades, if not maybe 50 years away.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's good. But so what they're using is these data centers, because what they're doing,
And they're huge.
and those data centers are really about control. They're using them to map every single person. And I had a friend, he passed. He argued with me quite a ways back. His son is a programmer. And he said, that artificial intelligence is 100 years away, it's never going to happen. He was arguing with me. And this was maybe 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Joe, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. All you have to do is look at today, and you'll see that. And of course, I think his point was actually that there's not enough room to know everything about every person. If you ever seen a data center, if I find one, I'll put them on this particular picture right now. These are football fields long with thousands and thousands of high-speed servers. And they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. And they keep building them, like here in Washington. So yeah, they got more than enough space to know everything about Ashley. Everything about me. And we have to understand that this is probably the biggest scare for people is how AI can be used to control humanity. As you mentioned, one world government. Well, yeah, that's what you would need. You would need computing power.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it in China they have the facial recognition softwares to where if you don't have a high enough score, you're not allowed on buses, you're not allowed in certain stores. That's coming to here in America.
Yeah, that's the most
People don't
sophisticated.
realize that, and that's going to go into the one world currency and the one world government. It's insane.
Well, I think when I watched a video on that, and they showed the software, and they had a crew in there, a camera crew from here, and they showed him one of the rooms. And of course, you can imagine how many people are in an intersection in China. I mean, a lot. And that thing could pick out every single face in quite a quick, routine. And so that's not far behind. I mean, we probably have to look at artificial intelligence as the early years where people were so excited about it. Mm-hmm. The middle years where now we're starting to say, like Ashley mentioned, with being predators using it, nefarious reasons, whatever. You have that now coming out. And what do you have in the future? Complete control? These aren't something we should laugh at. These are something we should be thinking about. Do we? Is anybody raising the alarm bell, Ashley?
I think a lot of people are becoming more aware of it, but now at least a lot of people, so even my brother's college there's a whole class on how to safely use AI, which I think is probably the proper thing to do, because I don't think it's something that you're going to be able to get rid of. Nobody's going to get rid of it.
Unless the world ends and the EMP takes everything out.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. And so I think if you are going to use it safely, use it properly, and be educated on all of that, but still take it with a grain of salt and, the harm to our environment anyways.
Right. I think that's one of the bigger problems, too. I think we don't realize it because, again, I know they're fighting it here in Washington.
Yeah, I
but
don't want it
money
at all.
talks. And I know I've been involved in some of those discussions. And
We have the money to build a data center here in Washington, but we don't have the money to fix the potholes in the road or to fix the street lights that are only up for like 2 seconds or nothing like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because what doesn't count here are middle class and poor people. I hate to say that, but that's true. What we're going to cater to are people who invest, the billionaires who invest in this technology, who can use this technology. The rest of us, we get very little side benefits from it. We don't. I mean, I use it. It makes videos faster, but the truth is the only reason I need to do that is because all the other YouTube channels and projects, are high speed. Everything has to be done quickly. And so we buy more and more and use more and more software. Some of them are very good. It isn't that they're not, but they're not perfect.
Yeah.
You, the consumer, as she said, have to be aware, and people are not. They just let their kid, hey, take the. I see kids that are 6 with a phone. Well, unless you found a way to lock out Gemini or whatever AI's on your phone.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of things say, that they have parenting hacks and stuff like that on it, and locks that the children can't get in. I grew up in a very strict household. Strict households and strict people can raise some very sneaky kids, and it doesn't matter how many things you put on there, you will always be able to find something, because we live in a very corrupt world, and there's just so many people who just want to harm, and they have nothing better to do in their lives than just to harm.
Yeah, I have a cousin who he's 14, 15, and he was hacking when he was like 9. You know, they're in Virginia, so if the feds come and get him, it'll be there. But I always tell his mother.
We'll give you an update.
Yeah, I always tell his mother, if a black SUV pulls up in front of your house, get your kid's bag packed, because he's going away, because that's what happens. And you know, it's all numbers and ones and O's. I mean, it's not like, you know, we're looking at a ghostly apparition or something. These are ones and zeros that some brilliant people put together, and it does take brilliance to do that. And I know back in the past, I watched a video, and I still have it. It's called it's about the end of the world. What happens if one of these 5 things affects your world? Water, nuclear bomb, disease. And they went through, and I think it was named Gagarin. He was the number 1 genius behind AI back in the day, and he was at a lot of conferences I would watch. And he says that you should have a fear. He says people that tell you that these things can't on their own cause havoc, they can't.
Well, they're not being used on their own. They're being used by the people.
Well, I think that's probably true too. I guess what he was saying is that these things do spawn themselves. They do grow, because like any technology, it finds a way to get better use of its own programming. And when that happens...
I saw a video. Now, I don't know if it's true. It could have been AI. But it was some type of center, and they were doing a test to see how ChatGPT or just AI in general would react. And they found... So they had sent these emails to make it seem like that they were going to shut down the AI program, and AI obviously didn't like that. And it had somehow conducted a way for these people to end up getting fired because of these emails. And it's like
sneaky.
That, like, well, okay, I'm going to shut you down. Oh, well, you know, okay, well, let's look at this. And
yeah, remember, these don't have a conscience.
No.
This isn't, you know...
It's all programming.
It's programming, and like anything, it will protect itself, I'm sure. Now, what I know initially, the initial ChatGPT programs didn't have access to certain things on the internet. They blocked that. They could do that. And you could tell when you ask a question. Only something before a certain date did it have real answers. It would, if you ask anything after, it would give you some cockamamie maybe story about something kind of, you know, enhanced from what they would maybe, I don't want to say believe, it's like they're human, but that they would...
but it's made to appear that way in a sense.
Right. But now they do have access, you know, to real-time data. Where this leads, friends, I don't know. What's your feeling, Ashley?
I feel we're going to turn into a very antisocial world, and it's just going downhill from there.
Wow. You heard it here, huh?
Jesus is coming soon. Be prepared. Be vigilant.
And if you have a comment, please send that comment in. We want to hear from you. Generally, it's Sue that gets all the comments and the emails. And our email is strangeworlds with an S 777@yahoo.com. I'll put that on the screen here. Send us an email. Say hi to Ashley if you want to chastise her for not being here enough. Don't, because she did have some really tough things going on, crazy things. But that's our Ashley.
I can't have any fun.
She can't. But she is here today. And we're, of course, moving forward. Please check out all of our videos on our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and share. That really helps us a lot. Comments are fine or welcome, as I mentioned. And keep in mind also that there's a lot of things we're going to be doing out of the building here and coming up in the months ahead. And be prepared for that. We're going to have some fun. We're actually just going to go out and have fun. And that's kind of the idea of this channel, for us to kind of explore things that everybody's interested in, that people have talked about. And just like those folks around the fire 1,000 years ago, even 500 years ago, even last month, would talk about all the things we talk about on this channel, and makes them feel like they actually know something. But we know a lot, and we're here to give that to you. Ashley, what do you think you're going to be doing next?
Probably the one video with you, me, and Sue.
Yes. Go and Google that.
A lot of people haven't heard of it. I heard about it, I think, when it first opened, and then I've heard absolutely nothing about it until a lot of controversy that's happened recently.
And there's a lot of controversy. It's an interesting take. So stay tuned. The three of us actually together again. And of course, I'm probably just the guy that'll be left out of that conversation. When the girls get together, I don't exist. I'm just the guy that sits here and says, please like, share, and subscribe.
Well, that's because at the time you didn't know even about it.
I didn't.
There wasn't much you could input into the conversation.
It
was all us informing you of what was going on.
So yeah, keep an eye out for the videos we already have. We just had one about the Fresno Nightcrawler. That was the one, Fresno Nightcrawler. I never heard of that. It was as fun as we can be. We laughed. It was a good time. The Fresno Nightcrawler is a walking pair of pants that had no body and no feet and just eyes in the waistband of the pants. Caught on film in 2 different places.
Oh my
Unbelievable. Gosh. We had a good time, friends. So if you have something you want us to take a look at, please send it in.
Send suggestions.
Yeah, we'll look at it. We did a lot of things that maybe folks never heard of. And, of course, we do the things that everybody does. One of my favorites, Bigfoot. And we just had a video put out yesterday on that. Take a look at it. Bigfoot in Pennsylvania, North Central PA. We loved that one. And take a look at that video as well. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Again, please send your comment in. Subscribe, like, and share the video. Say hi to Ashley. Whatever it is you want to do, we're here to hear you out because we care. Again, thanks for watching, and we hope you join us next time on your favorite paranormal investigation group in Canonsburg, Nights Around the Fire. See ya.